Welcome back. We're doing Kickass Confidence Quickies. This is number 3, and we're going to talk today about not confident characteristics. Our quickies here are designed to be neuro nuggets, literally really quick, ADD-sized videos here that will aim to give you some simple, really fast, but scientific ways to boost and sustain confidence. Because the more you know about your brain and how it impacts your body and your behavior, the more mental strength you can get and subsequently build your confidence. So as I mentioned, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about behaviors and characteristics that are basically recognized as not confident. And to do that, I'm going to share, again, as usual, a screen to give you a really good view of something that I think is fantastically amazing. So if you are familiar with Amy Cuddy's work, Amy Cuddy is a social scientist at Harvard, and her information about power poses is very well known. It's the #2 TED Talk in the world. If you haven't seen it, go Google Amy Cuddy, C-U-D-D-Y. And needless to say, Amy's work is based on the fact the way you stand, the way you sit, different hormonal responses are triggered in your body. And her research is being somewhat contested. People are having a hard time replicating it. And I say, I don't care. Because here's the thing. If walking into the bathroom and doing your Wonder Woman pose, I hope you can see me on my video, or her other variations of it, if that works for you, rock it. Who cares? If it works for you, great. You can't always do that though, unfortunately. Maybe before an interview, you kind of power pose your way into that confident state. Great. And I'm not at all a proponent of fake it till you make it, but I do know that when you do certain things, structures, warm up things like the athletes, a power pose, that's a way of triggering your brain into the right place to really wake up that frontal cortex and say, hey, you're in charge, keep control. So again, if it works for you, it's great. But again, another argument I would say is whether or not it's doing something hormonally or even mentally for you, I think it's really important to recognize how it translates to other people's brains. So I'm showing you this picture now of this young woman, and she's standing nice and tall. She's got a nice friendly smile. She's dressed in a way that wouldn't really offend anyone. She looks, in my opinion, confident. But here's the problem. If I give her just a slight slouch, watch what happens. Now, all of a sudden, she is a different perception, right? She looks differently to us. She has the same suit, the same smile, but that slight slouch kind of conveys to us that maybe she's not feeling so confident inside. And again, regardless of what's going on in her head, chemically or otherwise, we look at her and say she is not confident. So I often invite people in my workshops to look and think about somebody that they know, that they've known now or in the past that's not confident, and what are the characteristics that come to mind for those kinds of people. Here's the list again. It's not the whole list, but the list of things that comes up more often than not, that not confident people avoid eye contact. They're looking down, they're looking at the corner, they're looking everywhere except they're not looking at you. And of course, with a camera here, I never know exactly where to look, but needless to say, they're not looking at the person that they're interacting with. They are slouching, as we just saw. They have a nervous giggle. They're constantly seeking approval. What do you think? Do you agree? That kind of thing. Subservient disclaimers are things that you put in front of sentences. Things like, I know this is going to sound like, or you may not agree, but. So it's ways of kind of disclaiming that what you're about to say may not be something that you're confident about. And those are dead giveaways. Those are tells. Ahs, likes, so we all got them. I'm sure I've said a few myself here in this video and others. Needless to say, when we are doing it a lot, like if I do it like all the time, it is very disruptive in the language, of course, but it actually sounds like I'm not confident. So again, if we can erase those, and we have a fabulous, fun drinking game that we do in our workshops to actually erase those. So needless to say, they can be removed relatively easily, but when you get into a pattern and you're saying or ah, or like, whether you're in a meeting or on a phone call, it gives that other person that tell that says you're not very confident. Physical tics, voice upticks. So an uptick would be when I raise my voice at the end of a sentence. And if I do that a lot, somebody like that, you're giggling. Yeah, voice uptick looks and sounds like not confidence. Somebody talks really quietly. Somebody who overcompensates and talks really loudly. Somebody who's always interrupting. Oh, it's my biggest pet peeve. I hate this. You're having a conversation, somebody's constantly interrupting you. And somebody who's always disagreeing. They just can't agree because they always want to feel a little smarter, a little better, or just not in the same level that you are. Needless to say, all of these are confidence tells. So again, as I've done in previous videos here, think about yourself. Do you do any of these? Can you say to your brain, stop it, don't do these things because other people think that I'm not confident? So that's going to end today's Quickie. I hope that was helpful. Please tune into other ones as we continue to post them out on social media. We send them out in our newsletter. They're on our blog, and all that's on kickass-confidence.com. You can also find information about our group programs, our workshops, Massachusetts-based employees. If your organization has Massachusetts-based employees, we can do workshops for half price. Call me. Let's do it. If you don't do that kind of training in your company, you still want to get more confidence and your career boosted, check out one of our career acceleration programs. They're virtual. You sit at the comfort of your home in the evenings. I live lead it. We do video stuff with a really awesome group of peers. It's fantastic. I'd love to share more information with you. Kickass-confidence.com. See you next time for our next Quickie.